You see this, ladies and gentlemen? This is a face of a guy who had a taste of success and for some reason came back to be a Cowboy because he wants to be a Cowboy. Let's get right into it. As some of the Dallas Cowboys' newest additions, they're saying all the right things, and these dudes, they all sound like they have some serious chips on their shoulder. Just how I like it. Beans and weenie babies. Beans and weenie babies. Be sure to subscribe. Trying to get to 30K, y'all. Help your boy out. All right, so we're going to start this one off talking about Kenneth Murray Jr. as he had a chance to talk to local reporters, and this is what John Machota had to say concerning Kenneth Murray Jr. New Cowboys linebacker Kenneth Murray Jr. are being a captain last season and the leadership style that he plans to bring to Dallas. Quote, "I'm a firm believer that you can't ask people to do something that you're not doing. For me, it starts by leading by example. Just being able to connect everybody, especially on the defensive side. I think it's going to be really important for us to be able to communicate really well. When we're out on the field, connecting the front end and the back end, making sure that we're all connected, understanding how I can prepare for certain things, certain looks, and being able to communicate that on the field. Quote, I kind of feel like I'll be that traffic cop in the middle of the street, just trying to get everybody lined up. Make sure everybody knows what's coming or making sure we're in the right check and stuff like that. That was kind of my role in Tennessee, and I plan to be that same thing here." Okay, so Kenneth Murray Jr. pretty much just let us know how the Cowboys plan to use him. It sounds like from his perspective, he believes the Cowboys going to use him as the green dot player, right? It sounds like he's going to be helping call the defense. He's going to be receiving the calls from the coordinators, and he's going to be communicating with everybody to make sure guys are lined up right and they're in the right spots, and they're checking in and out of defenses depending on the looks the offense is given, that kind of thing. So it sounds like Kenneth Murray Jr. has some type of conversation with the Cowboys to lead him to believe that he's going to be that type of guy for the team. And I don't think that he's just going to come out to the media and say that kind of stuff without talking to the defensive coaches at least to get an idea of how they plan to use him, right? So that's giving us a little bit of insight as to how this linebacker room is going to shake up. So very interesting insight right there. Now, something else I really like to hear from any guys coming to play for the Cowboys, man, especially in this day and age, it's rare that you actually find players that feel this way about the Cowboys. So I absolutely love that Kenneth Murray Jr. had this to say, quote, "I've always loved the Cowboys. I grew up a Cowboys fan. My whole family are Cowboys fans. So this is definitely a dream for me playing here." Well, damn. Hey, fam, just in case any of y'all are watching this video right now, be sure to subscribe to Attack on Cowboys and tell your fam I said what's up and I got big hopes for him. I was one of the very few people that was actually positive about him coming to Dallas. Be sure y'all remember that. Anyways, John Machota said on how surprised he was about the trade, quote, "I'm not going to lie. It was extremely surprising for me just because I wasn't expecting it. At the same time, I was ecstatic because obviously playing for the Dallas Cowboys is a big deal. I'm excited to be able to come here, bring my brand of football, and just fly around and make plays." All right, I like what I'm hearing from the guy. It sounds like a very coherent young man. It sounds like he knows exactly what he is, what he could bring to a team, and where his strengths lie on an NFL football field. So I'm excited to see a Kenneth Murray Jr. get a fresh start in Dallas. Again, Matt Eberflus is a linebacker whisperer, so if he's able to elevate Kenneth Murray Jr. to that first round level in which he was drafted in, and remember, this is a guy that has tested off the charts as it pertains to linebackers in the NFL with raw score and that type of thing. He tested amazingly athletically, right? So if Matt Eberflus can kind of hone that and really kind of steer this guy down the right path from a coaching perspective, I think that we have a young stud in the making right here. So I really like Kenneth Murray Jr. I like to pick up again. I kind of did a week 1 free agency grades with Law. I believe I gave Kenneth Murray Jr. like a B or something like that. I really like the kid. Anyways, let's go to the next player I wanted to touch on here, and this is going to be Kaiir Elam. It's this player actually pulled a D-Law a little bit. He shaded his former team on his way to Dallas, but he was traded. So I can kind of understand that. And he felt like he was done wrong in Buffalo. Let's get into the story right here. Kaiir Elam said, quote, "Coming to Buffalo, I was a kid that just wanted to improve and learn and really show off my talents, but I was always put in the back seat. I continued to put my head down and work, continued to make plays throughout the season and in the playoffs, stuff like that. I just took everything I learned from there and all the baggage and improvements I felt like I needed to make and just packaged it up and worked on it every day. I don't really see it as a negative. I really just see it as a growing opportunity for me to go shine somewhere else. Absolutely love that. So this is a lunch pail guy. This is one of those guys. He's gonna pack his lunch. He's gonna put his hard hat on. He's gonna go to work, put his hours in. He ain't gonna cheat the clock. He's gonna make sure he's giving you his full effort. He ain't gonna sneak off to go smoke a cigarette or anything like that without having actually taking a break off the clock. He is gonna make sure he's giving it to you. I like to hear this type of thing. He also said, quote, "It was a blessing and a privilege to be traded to the Cowboys," Elam said. "The big market and the tradition here is something that I'm in love with right now. Being able to just go prove myself and help this team win. That's all I'm committed to right now." And that's exactly the mentality that a Kaiir Elam should have. I think he's going to have a golden opportunity here in Dallas to be able to become what he was drafted to be. Again, another former first-round talent. Obviously, NFL teams thought highly of this kid coming out of college, and it just didn't work out. And the main reason it didn't work out is because I feel like Kaiir Elam was kind of dropped into the wrong scheme. The GM of the Buffalo Bills, I think he would even tell you that it was his fault that Kaiir Elam had the kind of success or lack thereof in Buffalo that he had. In fact, Brian Beane did actually talk about that a little bit, pretty much saying he put the kid in a bad situation, and it just wasn't a fit. It just wasn't a fit, and sometimes guys need a fresh start to really kind of get their feet under him. I'm hoping Kaiir Elam is one of those guys. He has the prototypical size that you would want in a cornerback in today's NFL, like a 6'1", 6'2" type of guy, good speed, can keep up with guys, good press man coverage type of corner. And in Eberflus's defense, that's going to be very, very important, right? So really, really like a Kaiir Elam, and I'm hoping the kid comes along, man. Again, we're hearing nothing but positive things from all new Cowboys. And Dante Fowler Jr. is back, and he says he feels like he has something to prove in his second stint with the Dallas Cowboys. He said, quote, "It is amazing to be back. I'm definitely happy to be here in Dallas," Fowler said. "I'm ready to get going with the guys for sure. It was pretty big just to go out there and be able to show the people that I'm still here and be able to produce at a high level as it pertains to last season, going out there and get 10.5 sacks. I felt really confident going into the season, especially with these past 2 years, getting to work from coach Aiden Dirty, Micah Parsons, and DeMarcus Lawrence with the D-line group that we had. I definitely took a lot from that and learned a lot from these past couple of years and took that to Washington and just put it all out there and let my work show for itself." Tommy Yarston writes, as he prepares for a second stint with the Cowboys, Fowler is hoping to be a reliable veteran presence for some of the younger up-and-coming defensive ends in the room, like Sam Williams, Marshawn Nealon, and whoever else may follow. Quote, "Being that vet that can lead on the young guys, lead by a good way, try to develop them in a good way, lead by being an example," Fowler said, "just going there and setting the tone for my defense and getting wins and sacking the quarterback." The early words that the players are using to describe the new defensive coordinator Matt Eberflus's defense include fast, physical, and aggressive. Fowler checks all three boxes and believes that Eberflus can get even more of the same out of his game. He said, quote, "He can get a lot out of me, to be honest with you, just because I still have a lot out there to prove and to put out there," Fowler said. "I'm looking forward to playing in his defense. I'm ready to go out there and lay it all out on the line." Even with all the success that came in 2025, Fowler still feels like he has a lot to prove going forward in his return to the Cowboys and looks to silence some critics with another strong campaign in 2025. Fowler said, quote, "Keep showing guys that I'm one of those guys. I feel like I'm better than some of the guys out here," Fowler said when asked what he felt he had to prove. "Just keep coming out there with a chip on my shoulder. Keep proving I love football, so I play this game for the love of my game. Every time I go out there, every time I get an opportunity to play football, I'm going to leave it all out there." Woo! These are the type of players I want on my football team, y'all. God dang! Woo! Fowler got me about to be ready to buy some Cowboys merch, but not from the official shop. Check out the Dak Attack merch shop, Taco Cowboys merch shop, if you want to support your team next season. "I love this defensive line. The sky's the limit," Fowler said. "Shout out to Osa, just being with him and seeing how hard he worked to where he's at now. I'm definitely excited to be with him again. I love playing with Micah. I love him. He's one of my favorite players in the league. I'm definitely excited to be back in this defense and to help get this defense to be one of the top defenses in the league and to help the team get some wins." Love to hear that. Love to hear that the young line is having a positive impact as it pertains to players wanting to come back to Dallas. And again, Dante Fowler's a guy that actually experienced more success when he left Dallas. And for him to want to come back to Dallas says a lot about just how he sees this team and how he sees this franchise. And maybe things in Dallas aren't as bad as people make them out to be, especially if a guy that was here last year, even amidst all the, chaos going on, or at least a year before that, even amidst all the chaos going on, He wants to come back. He wants to play with Micah. He wants to play with Osa, and he wants to play in Eberflus's defense. And that's a common thread that we've heard with a lot of these signings and a lot of these players. Is a lot of these guys are excited to play in Eberflus's defense because it seems like it's just a kind of a pin your ears back defense, a defense in which the players aren't charged with thinking too much. I think Eberflus's defense kind of depends more so on just being in the right play call. So that kind of falls more so on the defensive coordinator and the players for the most part. Outside the safety, I think the safety probably has the most responsibility in this defense. The safety and the linebackers probably have the most responsibility. But for the most part, your front seven, for the most part, their responsibilities are pretty straightforward. So it sounds like a lot of the D-line guys are excited to play in Eberflus's defense. I'm excited to see it. But either way, let me know what you think about all this stuff down in the comments below. Do you like the way the new Cowboys are talking as it pertains to these guys that we heard from? They're likely going to be guys that are actually going to be on the field and actually playing meaningful snaps for us. So good to hear from those guys. Kaiir Elam is likely going to start the season as one of our starting cornerbacks unless something else happens between now and then. So good to hear from all of these guys, and appreciate you guys for tuning in, man, and rocking with Attack on Cowboys on the regular, because y'all definitely rock out with me on the daily, and I appreciate it more than anything. And be sure to subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet and you ain't rocking with me on the daily. Subscribe now so you can be able to say we got here before 100K. All right, either way, how about them Cowboys?
Calling me, texting me, paging me, asking me, am I still them boys? Y'all usually check on me. Listen. I'm still them boys. Hey! Woo! Hey! I'm still them boys.